So what's the downside of outsourcing IT? Okay, outsourcing IT sounds pretty appealing on paper. You get expert support, you don't have to manage the tech yourself, and often it looks like you're saving money compared to building a full in-house team. And honestly, for a lot of businesses, outsourcing IT is a smart move. But like anything, it's not without its downsides. And if you're considering outsourcing your IT, it's important to understand both sides of the equation. So let's start with one of the most common challenges, control. When you outsource IT, you're essentially handing some or all of the keys over to another company. They're managing your system, your data, your security, dependent upon the services and the layer of relationship you've got. But these are all the pieces that keep your business running. And while that can be great, it also means you give up a certain level of control. If their priorities don't always match yours, you might find yourself waiting longer than you like for certain projects or running into some friction when urgent needs pop up on your end, but they're busy with another client. Any good partnership depends on clear, reliable communication. See, I enunciated that more because it's clear. But IT is no different. When your IT provider isn't in-house, there's always a bit of a gap. Maybe their support team is in a different time zone, or maybe you're dealing with a ticketing system that feels more complicated than helpful. And if there's ever a misunderstanding about what you need or when you need it, that can slow things down or lead to mistakes. And think about it. You might have a partner that has a lot more skills on something, but if they don't know how and when to bring those skills to bear, that's a plus with a big minus afterwards. Anyways, security is another big one. When you outsource IT, your provider usually has access to sensitive company data, employee information, and sometimes even your client data. If your provider isn't following strong security practices, that puts your business at risk. One of the other things to keep in mind is abdication. I've seen where a lot of organizations don't want to actually be secure themselves, so they'll abdicate the security role to an outside firm. That doesn't work. Security still has to be the priority of your company, with the IT partner being just that, a partner. Data breaches, cyber attacks, and compliance issues are real concerns. So you want to be absolutely certain that any IT company you work with takes security seriously, and that you take security seriously, and that your contract spells out exactly how your data is being protected. And then there's cost. A lot of businesses turn to outsourcing because at first glance it seems more affordable than staffing an internal IT department. And often it is, but there are a lot of hidden costs. Sometimes the basic services are covered under your contract, but anything extra, emergency support, projects, upgrades, or even adding new users might come with additional charges. And if you're not careful, those extras can add up quickly. That's why it's important to read the fine print, ask questions, and fully understand what you're actually paying for before you sign. And another thing, this is big, is personalization. An in-house IT team knows you, knows your business inside and out. They work alongside your staff every day. With an outsourced provider, you may not get that same level of familiarity. Now, that can work both in your favor and against you because they may not know the best practices on how to do things from the industry standpoint, but they know what works for you. Now, while good providers will absolutely try to learn your business, sometimes their solutions feel more like one size fits all. And if you've got very specific needs or want an IT partner who truly feels like part of your internal team, that's something to keep in mind. Finally, providers themselves can change. Maybe they get bought out, they go through leadership changes or shift focus to a different kind of client. They'll basically tell you, it's not you, it's us. But if that happens, you might suddenly find yourself needing to switch providers, which is never fun when you're trying to keep your business running smoothly. Now, with all of that said, outsourcing IT can absolutely be a great decision if you go into it with your eyes open. Understanding these potential downsides up front helps you ask better questions, find the right provider, and build a partnership that absolutely and actually supports your business goals. If you want some practical advice on how to avoid these downsides, check out our video, How to Avoid the Downsides of Outsourcing IT, where we walk through exactly how to make outsourcing work for your business. Now, before you sign anything, take the time to ask questions, read the contract carefully, and make sure the provider is a good fit for your organization. A little extra effort up front can save you a lot of headaches later. If you want to learn more about tailored IT services for your organization, that's right, I'm talking about outsourcing, contact us today for a free IT assessment. As you can tell, we'll give you both sides of that equation. If you have questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. If you have other questions, check out our other videos. We answer commonly asked questions. We're posting them all the time. And if you haven't, subscribe. You remember all those National Geographics that your parents probably had like 20 years of in the garage? You were always waiting for the place to burn down? We're not asking you to do that. This is all online. It's not going to take up any room of your garage whatsoever. And you can even hit a bell. Everybody loves to hit a bell. Bells are cool. And check boxes and all that kind of stuff. That's what you should do, if you ask me.